Weeks away from a controversial referendum, the debate over a July zoning ordinance still very fresh in Rehoboth Beach.
May not be the rebels and the Yankees, but it's close to a civil war.
Clearly, arguments are still flaring in the coastal community, and now the Homeowners Association is getting involved. Good evening. I'm Paul Butler.
And I'm Maxine Bensel. This is WBOC News at 7. Well, in Rehoboth Beach, just mentioning the controversial zoning ordinance is sure to turn some heads. The ordinance was passed in July following neighbor complaints of large homes. Essentially, the ordinance limited the size allowed for future homes.
But following the July decision, a separate group of neighbors voiced their opposition to the ordinance and distributed a petition calling for a referendum on the issue. Now, that referendum is scheduled for November 7th. WBOC Sussex County Bureau Chief Evan Kozlov joins us live in Rehoboth Beach. And Evan, with less than 3 weeks away from the referendum, some more groups are getting involved.
Good evening, guys, and that includes the Rehoboth Beach Homeowners Association. They're just the latest group to speak up to try to sway the voters this November. On this chilly Monday morning, WBOC is joining Steve Curson, a board member for the Rehoboth Beach Homeowners Association. Over the weekend, the group officially voted to join forces with a group called Rehoboth Neighbors United in support of the controversial ordinance.
The Rehoboth Beach Homeowners Association was formed in 1971 to stop the proliferation of high-rises here in Rehoboth Beach. Now it's 2015, we have a new issue, which is the building of mega homes and what we're calling mini hotels.
The ordinance in question is multifaceted. It decreases the size of homes in the main residential district while increasing the amount of natural or unbuilt areas on a lot citywide. It also tackles issues of setbacks and floor-to-area ratios, essentially to make homes smaller. Curson says the ordinance is reasonable to maintain the character of the city.
This referendum will show that the commissioner and the mayor has the support of the city to keep this a city that the people who live here are proud of.
The ordinance as passed was not complete and not well thought out.
But for those who distributed the petitions, including attorney Eugene Lawson, the ordinance is an infringement on their rights as property owners. More than 400 people signed the petition, and Lawson says that this is a mandate against the ordinance.
At the public hearing, there were far more people that were telling the commission they didn't want these regulations that reduced the lot coverage and increased the green space, that there were other ways to resolve some of these problems, and the commissioners just didn't pay any attention.
Less than 3 weeks away, on November 7th, the people will make a decision. Once again, that referendum is scheduled for November 7th. It's open to all registered voters. You can register up to 2 weeks before the election. Sussex County, I'm Evan Kozlov, WBOC News in Rehoboth Beach.
All right, Evan, thank you. Now let's take a closer look at some of the details of that ordinance. Now, first off, it increased the amount of natural or unbuilt areas from 40% to 50% of the total lot size. Second of all, it limits the size of houses in the main residential district to 4,500 square feet. Now, lastly, it tackled issues of setbacks and floor-to-area ratios. For homes with pools, that means adhering to a lower ratio in Rehoboth Beach.